Hello students, last time we have seen the classification of material handling equipment. In particular that topic we have discussed about hoisting equipments, then conveyor and surface and overhead equipments, right? Then we have seen in detail hoisting equipments and then about classification of crane, and I think also type of hosting equipments, right? And then we have also discussed the component of EOT crane. So here you can see the electric overhead transportation EOT crane, right? So these are the different parts of EOT crane that we have discussed last time. So from this all the things, here we have to concentrate on crane hook assembly, and in particular that crane hook we have to design a crane hook assembly with pulley, right? So here you can see the figure for the crane hook assembly with the pulley, but our concentration is this, okay, the hook assembly. So today we are going to design a crane hook, right? So today we are only focused about the crane hook. You can see here this figure of crane hook. You just pause the video and draw this figure and understand all the dimensions, all the nomenclatures, right? So first one is the dimension of the crane hook, okay, in which first one is bed diameter. It means seat diameter C. You can see here C is called the bed diameter. So C we can find out by x under root p. Now what is x? It is we have to assume that x is equal to the constant ranging between 12 to 24. For the economic design, x should be as minimum as possible. So here we have to consider x as in between 12 to 24 and under root p, that is the load. So we can select C as this equation, and you will find I think all this equation into design data book. You can check it. If there is a equations in design data book, then you need not to be remember all the equations and assumptions, right? Now throat of the hook J. So what is the throat? Here you can see this is a throat of the hook J, right? So J is equal to direct, we have to assume 0.75 C, okay. Then depth of cross section H. So here you can say this is a cross section, so this is a depth of cross section H is equal to bracket 10 under root p plus C by 10. So you know C and P, right? So you can find H directly from this equation. Then width of the cross section BI, that is width BI, width of the cross section you can find from assumption is over here 0.65 H. So all these are the assumptions, these are the main dimensions which is based on assumptions, okay, we can say experimented things, okay. Now parameters of triangular cross section. So we are going to discuss about this particular triangle, right? So here you can say in this triangle there is RG, then there is a RN, okay, normal line, then here this is a line of gravity, then here RO, RI, all the things is here. So you can see particular this figure over here, okay, and we have here extrados, this is the outside part, and intrados, that is the internal part, right? And here this is a we can say center axis like this one, okay, so this one. So from that here you can see the bending stress distribution is like that. The intrados having the maximum bending stress sigma bi, and it will be 0 at the gravity G. Then again it will be the increasing and having the maximum at outer side, okay. So the parameter of this triangular cross section are that all the parameters here are by assumptions. So I am telling you again that you should check the design data book. All this, if there, then you need not to be remember, otherwise you have to be remember this. Okay, the parameter of triangular cross section R1 is equal to 0.75 h. Now where is the R1? So it is here. Okay, so R1 and this is R2. So R2 is 0.125 h. O1 O2 that is 0.125 h. O1 O2 distance, that is 0.125 h. Then radius of intradoors and extradoors Ri and Ro, that is also given here. Now the core diameter of the shank of crane hook DC. Now we have to find the core diameter DC, right? So this is the core diameter DC. Okay, now for finding that core diameter, it is a very simple equation we have, that is tensile stress is equal to P upon AC. Okay, so here sigma T, or we can say sigma allowable, we can find if here yield strength is given of particular material, or maybe material is given, then we have to assume the yield strength of that material divided by the factor of safety, and according to that pi AC is equal to pi by 4 DC square. So we can find the DC, right? Then nominal diameter is as per the ISO metric screw thread. Okay, nominal diameter we have to select. Then standard dimensions of the crane hook. Here you can see different, here chart is given in which standard dimensions are given. So you can whenever you design, you can select accordingly from this chart, right? Now stresses in the crane hook. So there are, in the crane hook there are two stresses, that is direct stress and second is bending stress. So here in a curve beam, the bending stress distribution is not linear, that we have seen. In the curve beam, the natural axis does not coincide with the centroidal axis. So here you can see this is a natural axis and this is a centroidal axis. So it is not coincide. Here this is a natural axis and this is a centroidal axis. So here they are not matched with each other, right? So but it shifted towards the center of curvature by distance E. Okay, so this is due to non-linear distribution of bending stress. So here sigma I, that is sigma T, यानी कि tensile strength plus bending stress. The tensile stress is equal to P by A simple, and sigma Bi is equal to M Hi upon A E Ri. This is the equation of bending stress which is directly given here, and here this is a plus and this is minus because this is a internal side, this is external side. So here compression is there, here tension is there. So here the difference is plus and minus. Okay, now then here this is the natural and centroidal axis for the crane hook. This all the equation may be given in a design data book, so you can select Rn, Rg and E from design data book, right? So you can see here different cross section like rectangular, circle, then trapezoidal, triangle, all the cross section given here. Now thrust bearing for the hook. So here you can see the thrust bearing where it is applied. So let me show you. The thrust bearing will be over here. Okay, somewhere over here. Let us see again. Here you can see the thrust bearing, right? So this one is the thrust bearing. So for thrust bearing, here you can select CO, that is the basic static capacity of bearing. Okay, we have seen this topic in bearing design, right? CO. So basic static capacity of this thrust bearing is equal to load. We have to take as a, it is equal to load. Now nut of the hook means now you must know this. So nut height, we have to find height of the hook. So height of the nut based on the shear failure. So first of all we have to consider the shear failure in this particular figure. So tau s is equal to P upon pi dc, that is the cross section. Okay, pi dc, okay, cross section area. So into h, so we can find the height of the nut. Okay, then height of the nut based on the crushing failure. So sigma cs is equal to P upon pi by 4 d square minus dc square. These all equations we have seen in design of quarter and knuckle joint, and so many designs we have done in MDID, machine design industrial drafting. So I think it not need to be explained all the single equation, right? So here's crushing stress on P upon pi by 4 d square minus dc square into nt. So here we can find out the here nt. Okay, now again we can also find out h, and whatever here height is larger value we have to select. Okay, now cross piece of hook. So here you can see this is a cross piece over the hook. Okay, so particular these things here, this is a shackle plate, then here load is divided in p by 2. Okay, and then this is a side view of this. Okay, in which this is a b1 b h height. Okay, now the maximum bending moment on the cross pieces. So here mc, that is the here maximum bending moment over here, that is mc, that is p by 2 into l by 2. Where is the l? So it is here l by 2, means it is at the center. So p by 2 into l by 2 minus p by 2 into d1 by 4, that is here almost d1 by 4. This is whole d1 and we have to divide it into the 4 parts. So it will be the here p by 2 into d1 by 4. So p by 4 is equal to bracket l minus 0.5 d1, and we can find l according to this. Okay, now maximum bending stress induced in the cross pieces means sigma bc for particular this. So here sigma b upon y m upon I, this equation we have to apply. So here mc we have already find, y that is the cross section y. Okay, so here you can see this is x and this is y. So here y is equal to h by 2. Okay, so here y is equal to h by 2, and ixx, because of this is a rectangle piece, here we can select 1 by 12 bd cube, like you know b1 minus d h cube, right? So sigma bc we can find out by this way. Then dimension of the cross pieces, yeah, yani ki here b1 is equal to 1.25 d1, that we have to assume directly. Then again diameter of the cross pieces in a shackle. So you know about this shackle, right? So this is a shackle plate. Okay, this is a side plate. So shackle plate, shear stress in the shackle plate, that is p by 2 pi by 4 d2 square. So here d2 is, this is a particular diameter of this piece inside this shackle plate. So we have to consider it as a shear stress. Okay, so pi by 4 d2 square, this is a cross section area. Now by this way we can find out the diameter of the cross pieces in a shackle, like d2 we can find out. Then here pulley axle, now we talk about this axle. Okay, so you can see here the load is applied, this is a bearing. So here this part from the bearing a b a and p by 2. So you just pause the video and see all the nomenclatures, and I am going to somehow having a speed. So maximum bending moment, so here again like the previous one, maximum bending moment of the cross piece and maximum bending stress induced in the cross piece. Same way here maximum bending moment in pulley axle and maximum bending stress in pulley axle. So the formula is like same, method is same. So ma is equal to p by 2 a plus b by 2, यानी कि यहाँ पे a plus b by 2, here you can see. So this is a distance. Okay, and again stress in the pulley axle, that is ma into y upon ixx. Again here this is a round section, so pi by 64 dp raised to 4. Okay, so by this way you can find out bending stress. Now pulley bearing, so we have already discussed about it. Then shackle plate, this is the last portion of design of crane hook. So shackle plate, you can see here this is a p by 2 at the center. Okay, load, and this is a diameter d2, this is r. So you just pause the video and see all the nomenclatures. And here the failure of shackle plate. Okay, so sigma cs, crushing failure. So sigma cs is equal to p by 2 into d2t. So here this is a d2 into thickness, this is thickness t, right? So d2 into t. Now tensile failure of the shackle plate, that is p by 2 b minus d2 into t. Here we have to now total b minus d. Okay, so now we have to subtract this d2 in this tensile failure. Okay, and then shear failure of the shackle plate. So here we have, this is a shear area AB. So here you can see shear failure is equal to P by 2 at the center, and shear area, that is 2AB. AB and CD, that is 2AB into this thickness T, right, which is given here. So AB we can find out by under root OB square from this figure, under root OB square minus OA square, so R square minus D2 by sorry, R square minus D2 by 2 square, right. So here shear stress is equal to, the equation is this. So by this way we can design of different parts of the crane hook. Okay, so again if I am repeating, so these are the things that, you know, this is somehow long design, but if you knot it in a particular way, so it will become a short design, right. So this is all about the design of the crane hook. Okay, so thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.